My earliest memories are living in Jacksonville, Florida. I remember attending kindergarten in Jacksonville, and that my kindergarten career was cut short by a hurricane that blew the roof off the building. I know that we lived within walking distance of the Jacksonville beach because I have a memory of Mom and us walking to the beach during the day. Another memory is right after the hurricane, I remember Dad having to go out the front yard ditch to get water to flush the toilets because our plumbing was bad. That's about all I remember about living in Jacksonville. Shortly after that, Dad moved us to Appleton County, Georgia. We lived in a small cinder block house. If you leave Baxley on US 1 driving toward the Ottamaha River, just before you get to the river, there was a small cinder block house with a store just on the next lot. Dad bought that property, and it was a few acres. Yeah, I remember he had a garden behind the house. And Dad and Mom operated that little store. Dad was also working, I think, for Modern Loan at the time. And it was during this time that he opened his first automobiles business, Appling Auto Sales. It was located next to the old Piggly Wiggly on a small lot there in Baxley with a small white building as the office. At this time, I was attending first grade at Ottamaha Elementary School. If I remember, I think my first grade teacher was Miss Upchurch. Dad ran this business, Mom and Dad ran this little business as a side, selling grocery and meats and fish bait and such. It was close enough to the river. I remember walking down to the river a few times with Mom to go fishing. There's a park there now just before you get to the bridge there on the right, traveling north. During this time, we had a pet bulldog. Actually, Daddy used the dog. His name was Jake, a brindle bulldog. Daddy used the dog for hog hunting. So Jake could be a very ferocious dog, but with Tim and Randy and I, Jake was just always as gentle as a puppy. One evening about dusk, I remember Mom sending me to the house to get something, and so I walked out of the store and walked across the lawn to the front door of the house, and Jake was positioned between me and the front door. And as I approached the front door, Jake began barking and growling, and I was only about 6 years old at the time, and I was scared, so I went back to the store, said, "Mom, Jake won't let me in the house." And Dad said, "Boy, you just don't want to do what your mom told you to do. Go back to the house and do what she said." So I go back outside, head to the front door, and again, Jake positions himself between me and the front door and is barking and growling ferociously and terrifies me. So I run back to the store and again told him what happened, and this time my mom said, "Dobby, I saw it. Jake is barking at Danny. You need to go out there and see what's going on." So Dad walked out of the store toward the front door of the house, and sure enough, coiled up on the front porch right there at the door was a rattlesnake. Jake had positioned himself between me and the front door, between me and that rattlesnake. And Jake saved me from getting a rattlesnake bite. It was dusk. I would have walked right up on the porch. I would have never seen the snake. I would have probably been bitten. Of course, Dad killed the snake. So Jake, I guess you could say, saved my life, but at least saved me from a rattlesnake bite. We had Jake probably for 5 years. When I was about 10 years old, I noticed one day that Jake had been gone for about a week and asked Dad where Jake was. And Dad was always somewhat tenderhearted and didn't want to tell us kids, things that he thought might hurt us. But eventually he told me that Jake had died of heartworms at the veterinary. We had a lot of dogs from that time on. I just don't remember any of them. I don't remember their names. I remember them being around. But Jake was just that pet for me and Tim and Randy. I remember Randy riding on his back. I remember us playing in the woods with Jake, walking the dirt roads of Weatherly Park with Jake by our side. He was always that childhood friend. So, he's the best pet memory that I have.